the end of the study modules. So hopefully you are ready to take the exam, but if you are feeling nervous, don't worry, most people feel nervous. We are going to go over a few final study tips before you have your big day. So here on D2L, we have some stuff on exam preparation. So a short video on study tips and tricks, as well as a full-length practice exam. So first half, which goes from mathematics through statics, and then the second half, which goes from dynamics through thermodynamics and heat transfer. So if you add up your scores from those two, then it will tell you what predicted score is for the real exam. And remember that you need to get about a 70% or 77 questions right out of the 110 questions in order to pass. Now, a really helpful way to study efficiently is go through the um, exam specifications and make sure that you can work problems in all of these chapters in order to go a little bit faster if you are short on time. Or honestly, now that you have really studied a lot on this stuff, the easiest way is to just find a question, identify what formula from the handbook you would use to solve it, and then check the solution to see if you're right. That way you don't have to go through and solve out the whole problem completely. It allows you to get through way more problems than you would otherwise. So if, you can access the exam specifications on the NCEES website here. And then you can also download the handbook here. You would have had it already if you have been studying, but it is good to just be able to familiarize yourself with anything. So one section to be aware of is the units and conversion factors. So if you forget any type of conversion or what any type of prefix means or equivalence or anything like that, they are pretty much all here. So all of the special constants you would need to know, all of how to convert between English and metric, everything is here. So don't freak out if you forget how to convert from one to the other. But you do want to be really familiarize yourself with the handbook and know exactly how to find a formula with your Control F, know what formulas are in there and what formulas you might have to memorize. And as you're working your problems, just quickly identify what formula would you use, check and see if you were correct on that. If you were not correct, make sure you know why. So this is how I did it when I was studying for the exam. I spent like 2 or 3 days just going through a bunch of different problems, identifying the formula to use and checking if I was right, rather than actually working all of the problems out, because this handbook is hundreds of pages long. They will probably have most of the stuff that you need, but every once in a while, there's stuff that is just totally different, and there's a ton of extra information that you will not need. So just make sure that you know what you have to focus on. So now back here to D2L on the exam day. These videos are actually put out by NCEES and they will tell you exactly what to expect. So there's a video here on how the computer screen looks, how to flag a question for review if you get to a question that you don't know how to solve and you want to save it for later. How to use the line tool for charts. So this is when you're trying to look at a chart, you can actually use a tool to sort of draw on the screen and find the right spot in your chart. And then some alternative question types, which there will be a few of these, maybe maximum of 10. And the alternative question types basically would include multi-select and drag and drop and matching and other things besides multiple choice questions. So then after the exam, make sure that you answer the discussion topic to share anything that you have found that was maybe a surprise or that you thought what did go as you expected, and any tips you have for other people who are taking the exam after you. Upload your results to the Dropbox, whether you passed or you failed. Remember that you get 5 points for taking the exam and then another 5 points once you pass it. If you do pass it, then you will earn an automatic A in the course, but you have to let your instructor know that. And then finally, if you pass, in order to receive your certification for the engineer intern and be registered with the state, you have to fill out this form. So just simply passing the FE does not earn you that certification. It does not happen automatically. So you have to fill this form out. And there are different forms for different states, but here in Tennessee, you would fill all of this stuff out. And then if you are still a student at the school, then you will put your college and your major, sign and date everything. And then if you are a senior student, then your department head or chair needs to fill out this information. And then if you have already graduated, then you need a reference or from your employer. So then you would send the form to this person or whoever is the representative for your state, and that will allow them to put you into their database. So that is it. Good luck on the exam. Study hard, pray hard, may the force be with you.